Hey, it's Blake here with WTF News Network. Thanks for joining me. The Great Cartel Shuffle, drug lords going south for the winter. As we all know, the newly elected 47th President of the United States of America, Donald John Trump, in his latest bid to make America drug-free again and to make Mexico great again, has declared Mexican drug cartels as foreign terrorist groups. The world collectively raises an eyebrow while Mexico raises a margarita and says buena suerte, but the Donald remains undeterred. He has dispatched the 7th Special Forces Group along with over 5,000 U.S. troops to the southern border in support, and with the enthusiasm of a tourist trying to negotiate a deal on sombreros in Cancun, the U.S. launches Operation Taco Tango. Now, the cartels, never ones to back down from a logistical challenge, are getting creative, moving their smuggling operations south. They are setting up new franchises in Belize, Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, and even Cuba, even though cartels have been conducting international business for decades. One local Salvadorian quipped, "If Starbucks can go global, why not El Cartel de la Coca?" The cartel's exodus from Mexico is happening faster than a tequila shot on spring break. The drug lords gather together with their accountants. Yes, even cartels have tax problems, and they brainstorm strategies. "Gentlemen," declares El Jefe Grande, "we're going south. The border's too hot, and not just from jalapenos. Belize is seeing an economic boom overnight. Who knew cocaine could boost GDP faster than tourism?" remarks a bewildered Belizean economist. In Honduras, smugglers rebrand themselves as export consultants. Meanwhile, Cuba is becoming the Miami Vice 2.0 launchpad. Havana suddenly looks like the 1980s have returned. Gold chains, pastel suits, and enough suspicious packages to make customs agents consider a career change. The old smuggling routes are back, says local legend Juan El Sneeko Rodriguez. Miami is like a giant runny nose, and we're its nasal decongestant. As the cartels diversify their delivery systems using planes, boats, submarines, and even drones disguised as Amazon deliveries, the U.S. Coast Guard is finding itself busier than a piñata at a quinceañera. Narco submarines, often custom built and painted blue to blend with the ocean, are being discovered off the coast of Maine. Small aircraft like Cessnas and Gulfstreams are landing on clandestine airstrips from Georgia to Delaware, while speedboats zip through Miami's waterways like jet skis on steroids. It's time to binge watch Cocaine Cowboys again. Meanwhile, commercial flights are becoming Trojan horses of temptation. You think these passengers are just bringing back rum cakes from Havana, says TSA agent Cindy, but surprise, it's the kind of powder you don't want on your donuts, or maybe you do. Viva la Miami! Miami, with its strong Hispanic culture and historic ties to Latin America, is once again becoming a hotbed for cocaine and cafecito. Local police are baffled. We can't tell if these boats are bringing in drugs or just really enthusiastic cigar tourists, says Officer Jenkins, adjusting his mirrored sunglasses. The cartel's Diversification 101 plan is also targeting East Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Western Florida. The Gulf Coast, already accustomed to hurricanes, is finding itself in a narcotic storm. One DEA agent quips, "I haven't seen this much white powder since my grandma's Christmas cookie bake-off." The Smuggling Network is extending its reach to Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Delaware, New Jersey, New York, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Maine. The cartels don't discriminate, says DEA analyst Lisa. They just follow the money. If there's a city with cash, they'll find a way in. even if it means using cruise liners disguised as senior citizen bingo cruises. Old-timers in the DEA are experiencing deja vu. This is just like the 80s, says retired Agent Bob. Buzzkill Thompson. Reagan declared war on drugs, and the cartels responded by inventing creative delivery systems. Remember the cocaine cowboy canoes? We found speedboats going faster than my ex-wife's lawyer. Back then, the cartels moved operations to Colombia and used every trick imaginable. Fake bananas, hollowed-out surfboards, and even like elderly grandmas with their suspiciously heavy luggage. History, it seems, is repeating itself, only with drones and cryptocurrency this time around. The Hall of Infamy, Drug Lord Edition. Drug lords past and present would be proud of the ingenuity. El Chapo, known for his tunnel digging prowess, would applaud the cartel's new underwater drone delivery system. Pablo Escobar, who once spent $2,500 a month on rubber bands to hold his cash, would admire the cartel's new system of laundering money through cryptocurrency ATMs in Miami laundromats. Griselda Blanco, the godmother of cocaine, would admire the innovative use of cruise ships to move product through Miami. Legend has it her spirit haunts the Miami port, whispering, "Add more compartments." The Arellano Félix brothers, known for their cutthroat tactics, would chuckle at the cartel's new drone fleets, dropping care packages across Southern California like narcotic Amazon deliveries. The Orejuela brothers, who ran the Cali cartel like a Fortune 500 company, would envy the new software apps cartels are using, like Sniffer, the cocaine delivery app, promising doorstep drops in 30 minutes or less. Meanwhile, José Gacha, known as El Mexicano, would appreciate the cartel's maritime innovations. Speedboats painted with heat-resistant coatings, making them harder to detect by infrared cameras. And Amado, Carrillo, Fuentes, the Lord of the Skies, would be proud of the Cessna fleet now running moonlight flights to clandestine airstrips across Alabama and Georgia. The skies belong to us, boasts one cartel pilot. We just avoid Spirit Airlines because even drug traffickers have standards. The international drug distribution conglomerations, yes, that's a thing now, is proving as resilient as cockroaches at a taco truck. The more the U.S. tries to stomp it out, the more it adapts. Cartels diversify cocaine from Colombia, heroin from Afghanistan, fentanyl from labs that make Walter White look like a high school chemistry teacher. The idea of invading Colombia to stop cocaine production is coming up again, but politicians are cautious. Invading Colombia would be like poking a bear with a churro, says General Thompson. Yeah, sure, it smells good at first, but then things get messy. Some propose hiring Colombian grandmothers to patrol coca fields armed with flip-flops. Others suggest deploying karaoke machines, blaring 80s ballads, because nothing kills motivation like hearing Total Eclipse of the Heart for the 100th time. Ultimately, Trump's operation isn't ending the drug trade. Instead, it's turning Latin America into a game of narcotic musical chairs. When asked for comment, Trump says, "Look, folks, no one knows drug policy better than me. I mean, I've watched all of Narcos twice. The world keeps spinning. The drug problem remains, proving once again that you can't fix a spiritual crisis with military tactics. And as one Miami pastor puts it, the only real solution is Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Until then, the world watches, waits, and occasionally wonders why the Coast Guard just intercepted a speedboat full of organic Colombian flour heading toward Maine." Stay safe, everybody. And Remember, if your Uber driver offers you a special delivery, just say no. Unless it's cafecito, then say yes. Always say yes to cafecito. What are your thoughts on all this? Do you love that Americans will always be able to get their drugs? Are you okay with the spiritual decline of the world and America's responsibility concerning the spiritual drought? I'd love to hear your comments below. If you enjoyed this content, like and subscribe for more from WTF News Network. Thanks for watching.